Good morning and happy Thursday morning to everybody. I hope your week is going well. Hopefully I'll have some news for you tomorrow. As usual, we have a lot to do. Let's just jump in and get there, shall we? Let's go. Don't forget that Sophie still remains in Canada. We're going to start with her. She was seen visiting the Toronto Western Hospital. Now, one of the things she did while she was there was she tried out some virtual reality rehabilitation by putting on a headset. I'm not sure what rehab you would be doing for that, but hey, that's cool. And of course, we know she met with researchers and patients and, she'd made the rounds of the hospital. And a big thank you, as usual, to Remoulade Sauce for showing us everything she was wearing. Now, let's move on to Edward, the Duke, because he went and opened the Haberdashers' Borough School. There were Duke of Edinburgh participants there that he met. He saw creative arts and activities. He met students, he met staff, and he unveiled a plaque. Very nice. Let's move on to Princess Anne. Now, we know King Charles had his first state opening of Parliament as monarch, and of course, he gave Princess Anne the Gold Stick in Waiting honor. I believe she had the same honor at the coronation. Basically, she's King Charles' personal bodyguard, even though the role is considered ceremonial since, gosh knows when. Let's be honest. She's King Charles's wingman. She is what Harry should be to William. She is a spare. But look how fabulous her life turned out. You know what I mean? All right, now let's look at Prince Charles. He went down the Mall in a horse-drawn carriage for the state opening of Parliament in London. He looked wonderful, and I loved that crown that Queen Camilla was wearing. Gorgeous. Now, for those of you who may not realize it, this was the first opening of Parliament by a king in 70 years. So people were waiting, including Princess Antonia, the Duchess of Wellington. I keep forgetting that there are other dukes and duchesses other than, the ones that we always talk about. This was very regal. It literally put a lump in your throat because this is the first time that a king has done it in 70 years. This is the first time without the queen. You know what I'm saying? And there was so much pageantry and the robes and the processional. So the king was handed the first King's Speech in 72 years by the Lord Chancellor. And then when they left a different way than before. Instead, the usual way, they went down the Norman Porch, I believe it's called. During all of this, Charles was wearing the imperial state crown. I do remember him saying that it was so heavy, it gave him neck pain. I believe the Queen had the same complaint. Moving on, this is pretty cool. A commemorative coin celebrating King Charles' 75th birthday could be yours if you're also turning 75. So 75 people celebrating their 75th birthday will be picked to receive the silver coin. I love that idea. I wonder who came up with that. Pretty cool. All right, moving on. We've got Beatrice, and she and her mom, Sarah Ferguson, were in New York. So they were given this amazing makeover, and then they had their pictures taken. What did I tell you guys? It actually is quite amazing what makeup can do, because look at this. Yeah, wow. Moving on. Let's move on now to Prince William and the Earthshot Prize. That day, he went to the Gardens by the Bay. Here's a picture of him chatting with the CEO of the Earthshot Prize, Hannah Jones. He also was seen speaking to the CEO of Gardens by the Bay, Felix Lowe. And what William did was he met with the 15 finalists, and he also met with businesses and investors to help accelerate their solutions and their ideas. And I think that's a really good idea, because that way, even if you don't win the prize, you've still been paired up with some investors and people that can give your ideas and your companies a lot of support, which, that's the whole thing. Maybe you don't win, but your idea is still really good. And yeah, I love it. And then before we knew what was going on, it was time for the Earthshot Prize Awards. Wonderful. And they arrived. They did what they did last year they put down the green carpet. You had all the finalists standing there looking absolutely fabulous. It was at the Theater Media Corps. Hannah Waddington from Ted Lasso was there. We had Kate Blanchett. We had Sterling Brown. All big name people. Now, for those of you who don't know, Kate Blanchett, who we know is a award-winning actress, is, and I did not know this, she is actually an Earthshot Prize Council member. That's pretty cool. I was unaware of that. Now, there were a lot of winners. There were some people that had solar-powered dryers, processing equipment, all kinds of interesting things. But they did not give out all the awards. 2 remaining award winners will be announced live at the Tusk Conservation Awards on November 27th. Now, before the awards, you should know that Prince William went and toured Ecolabs. This is an incubator supporting energy sector business to innovate and accelerate technological energy transformation in Singapore. Now, they were one of the finalists, but I do not know for sure who won what. And there's too much to go through to even cover that. But I'm glad he went and he was able to go look at all of this. Pretty interesting. All right. Now, the one thing that really caught my attention was Robert Irwin, the son of the Crocodile Man, and he put out some really nice statements, and he presented an award, and he was seen on the green carpet with his girlfriend. Oof. William was wearing his green velvet jacket, the same one that he wore last year, looking very dapper. Now, also, he was spotted on the green carpet with One Republic. The band apparently played. Love it. Now, Prince William did admit that campaigning is an uphill battle, he said, for the environment, but he's very proud of the Earthshot Prize. And they did also point out that the award ceremony was clashing with the opening of Parliament, but that it was okay because the king is all about the environment. There was no ill will there. All right, moving on to Harry and Meghan. I gotta be honest, this was one of the most pathetic things I've ever seen that shows just how far down the rabbit hole Harry has fallen. He filmed this shtick at his home, supposedly in Montecito, to promote Stand Up for Heroes, okay? And the idea was to overshadow the king. I gotta be honest, it didn't work. He opened it up by saying, and I'm quoting, he goes, I was welcome to New York, and I was so honored to be, asked to share my stand-up with you tonight. He said, I wondered if his idea of me doing stand-up was a joke. Due to the shocking representation of gingers last year, and out of respect for my fellow endangered species, here I am. He looked like an idiot. I'm sorry. I've just never seen a guy who used to be a prince of the realm joking about how people like him are an endangered species and how, since he now lives in California, his life is no longer scrutinized. This is the best you've got now? This is what you've fallen into? I mean, there were some big names there. Tom Hanks was there, and Tom Hanks' wife, Rita, was there. I mean, articles are coming out saying that Harry is mocking himself to, quote, generate questions because he's trying to pull the attention away from King Charles with his first speech for Parliament, from, his brother who's in Singapore at the Earthshot Prize. And some of these articles actually say he overshadowed William. I'm sorry, he didn't. He made himself look like a fool, is what he made himself look like. And if anything, he looks even more pathetic than he ever did before. My God, what has happened to this guy? Well, let me just tell you, people on Twitter were all over this. They pointed out, Jersey Diane did, that he's still playing soldier. Somebody else pointed out that it's absolutely lame, which I happen to agree with. And then Royal News points out that William's in Singapore, Sophie in Canada, the King and Queen just attended the state opening of Parliament. And in the meantime, Harry's playing dress up with his medals. And Remulat Sauce even pointed out that he's wearing his military medals. The problem is, all but one of those medals was given to him by his grandmother. That's right. Now, let's look at what's really going on here, people. On November 5th, there was a big star-studded bash at the 2023 LACMA Art and Film Gala presented by Gucci in Los Angeles. You had Jennifer Lopez, you had Heidi Klum, you had Salma Hayek, you had Kim Kardashian, you had outfits, you had glamour. You know what you didn't have? You didn't have an invite for Harry and Meghan. They were not there. Eva Longoria was there. Jodie Turner-Smith was there. Stella Maxwell was there. But Harry and Meghan, no invitation. By the way, Ben Affleck was also there with his wife. Guys, this was the cream of society, A-listers. Even Salma Hayek's billionaire French husband was there. I mean, it was the best you could get. And no invitation for Harry and Meghan. Now, 2 days after that, you had a bunch of A-listers and Hollywood stars at the American Museum of Natural History for the CFDA Fashion Awards. These people went inside, they were socializing. This was glitzy. Serena Williams was with the Vogue editor-in-chief, Anna Wintour, who we had seen in Paris, I believe it was, with the Beckhams at Victoria Beckham Fashion Show. Serena looked absolutely gorgeous. I'm loving that necklace she's wearing. Big statement piece. And of course, we know that she's a new mom, and yeah, I think she looks amazing myself. But here's my thing. She's such a good friend of Harry and Meghan's. How come she wasn't able to wrangle them an invitation? Or does she still consider them to be friends? Because we know that they weren't invited to the baby reveal. As a matter of fact, we haven't seen her speaking out for them in a long, long time. Maybe they've had enough and she's finally cut the cord there. Anything is possible. Anyway, her outfit was very interesting. Other notable A-listers there were Kim Kardashian, that you can see there on the stage with her, who was at the other event 2 days earlier. Demi Moore is there as well. And I have to say, and I'm just throwing this out there, it's completely off topic, but I love the fact that her ex-husband, Bruce Willis, now, by the way, is completely nonverbal and he's not reading. And she's over at that house with him, his wife, their children, and she's trying to help out where she can, which I think is really big of her. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people wouldn't be all that with their ex-husbands, but she is. And I just think that's really big of her, if you guys know what I'm saying. All right, moving on. Also seen was Ashley Graham. She looked very nice in that mesh spotted dress with Carly Kloss. Lots of A-listers. Let's see, who else do we have? We have Gwyneth Paltrow. She was seen at a table with Amy Griffith, Stephen Kolb, Mooj Dogan, I believe his name is. Now remember, she's the one who has Goop. That's worth like how much money? And Meghan thinks that her Instagram is going to be as big as that. I just don't see it. But okay, you can always dream. Here you have Kim Kardashian. I love that black halter dress on her. She's with Nikki Hilton and Stacey Bennett. The point is, guys, they're all really big. Vera Wang. They're all really, really big name people. But the one person who wasn't there was Meghan Markle. So when you have these parties going on and you're not getting an invitation and the royal family is out and about, what do? You do the one thing that nobody can stop you from doing. You go to concerts and you act like a happy couple and that you're just having the best time in the world, even though the pictures show otherwise. I mean, now we know what's really going on. There's all these A-list parties, all these A-list get-togethers, and these two have not been invited to anything. So the only thing they can do is show up at a concert where they went by yet another private jet. I'm so over listening about the environment from these two. Oof. All right, and I want to end with a channel. I received an email from one of my subscribers. This young lady runs a small channel on YouTube, and it's all about her adventures on the farm with her and her husband, Kent. Why don't you guys take a look at that channel, see if it's something you'd be interested in. All right, you guys, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button and that bell. Put those comments down, make them good. If you've donated to my coffee fund, thank you so much. And as always, you guys, have a great day.